Shalom, brothers and sisters. I am Tazadaq Yasharahla, and welcome to the lesson.
Crooked letter I-N-E, crooked letter. Yeah. Let's go. I'ma handle my business. I'ma be about my business. I'ma go and handle this business. 'Cause it's kingdom. Yeah. 'Cause it's kingdom. I'ma handle my business. I'ma be about my business. I'ma go and handle this business. 'Cause it's kingdom. Yeah. I'ma handle my business. Hit the streets hard, can I get a witness? You best be listening or you gon' miss it. You best to keep yourself in tip-top business. Bringing in men like we bringing in fishes. Love to eat the word and hate to clean the dishes. Now unto him that can exceed all of your wishes.
Well, really everything. Because in Christianity, you didn't really have any answers for anything. It was more so of like, okay, read this book, or read this book by this pastor, or read this book by this philosopher, and they'll help you understand what is going on. And then when you're going through daily life, like you're looking at it like, okay, this isn't anything like how the book wrote it to be. So you're trying to judge everything based off of what a person is saying, and you never really look to the Bible for answers. So I was going through daily life, not really understanding how to answer those questions that I had in my head. Especially being younger. This was 4 years ago, so I was 14, 15 years old. First year in high school, experiencing seeing things that was different than what I had experienced before. It's a big change. So being in Christianity, I didn't really have those answers. Looking at the world, it looked normal to me. It looked like how everything was supposed to be. But when I came to the truth, that motivation that I didn't have in Christianity is pretty much like in Christianity, there's nothing to study. You get to a point, and when you get to a point in Christianity, you know everything. And I knew everything at that point, so it wasn't interesting anymore. But coming into the truth, it gave me something to reach for, something to study for all the time. And then I got the answers that I was looking for. Anytime in Scripture there was an answer, everything links to each other. So it's a simple way of looking at how Scripture is. And when I look at the world from a scriptural standpoint, it's easier to see that everything isn't as it should be. Well, I would say that that's two things. Number one, the dedication, and it came from the Most High, because being as young as I am, I even as a kid growing up, I understood that I was a leader, that I was sort of like a man among boys in a way. Growing up, I always knew that I was there to take a leadership position in whatever I did, whether it was sports, whether it was in the scriptures, or in any other area of life. I knew that I was supposed to be in some type of leadership position. So when this truth came, it was something different though. I wasn't trying to lead anything. I just wanted to know. I realized that I had been alive for 14, 15 years, and I didn't really know anything. I had learned a bunch of things that meant nothing to me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you come into the truth, you understand that everything that you learned in the past meant nothing. So at that point, it was like, okay, I'm 14, 15 years old, and I need to relearn everything that I've already learned about life. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm 14 years behind. I'm 14, 15 years behind where I need to be. So it was sort of a scramble for me to, okay, get the knowledge that the Most High actually wants me to have. You understand what I'm saying? And from there, being a leader just came because, the dedication, I'll be up till 4 o'clock in the morning watching videos in the scriptures, doing research in history, and learning the different laws that we're supposed to keep and that we're not supposed to keep and how we're supposed to keep them. All that dedication and all that work is what got me to the place that I am now. And I also understand now what I didn't understand then is that Scripture says that that this truth is given to the youth, not of those of gray hair, right? Because if you look at the ways the behaviors of an older man and the younger man is more influenced. He can retain and take in more information, whereas the old man is set in his ways. The saying where it says that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. it's the same idea. So that I understood that being a young man, I had the responsibility to bring forth this truth in there. I have the responsibility to teach it to the next generation coming. So being 14, 15 years old, having this truth placed on me by the Most High, I know that it's the Most High who gave me the gift that He gave me from the time I was born. So I understood I have a duty to do on the earth. I have a calling on my life. And it was just a matter of me going out and taking it, and knowing that it's not going to be given to me. So age at that time didn't matter. I knew that my head was is my father, and my father here on earth, and then my father in heaven. And that's the way I took it, and I ran with it. I took that dedication. I took the gift that the Most High gave to me. That's a loaded and an awesome question, because I see us doing exactly what Scripture tells us to do in these last days, and that's take the truth to the lost tribes of the children of Israel first, and then to the Gentiles. That's what we're called to do. That's all that. That's the duty that the Most High gave us in these last days. He said to take the truth to the lost tribes of Israel, and then also to the Gentiles. And he also tells us that we are to endure unto the end. And I understand that in this tribulation that we have a duty to take the word to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and also to the Gentiles. So going where our people are, and giving our people the truth, telling them who they are, whether they accept that truth or not, that's our duty. Our duty is to plant the seed, to give them that seed. So that's where that, and teaching the children, teaching the young people, so that we can establish the kingdom and prepare for Christ's coming. That's what He called us to do. That's what we're supposed to do. So I see us doing exactly what the Most High tells us to do according to His will. And if it be the Most High's will, we will be there in the Philippines, in Panama, in Cuba, in Puerto Rico, in South America, and on the coast of Africa, anywhere where our people are. That's where I see it. That's where I see the house of Judah fellowship. When they first showed us the video, "The Hidden Identity of Blacks in the Bible" by Yasharahla, that was about 4 years ago. And when I first saw it, it was kind of in the first 5 minutes, I thought that it was like a joke, because they didn't really say anything. They didn't say anything when they brought it to us, and they kind of was cryptic about it. Like, look at this and see what you think. So I was like, in the first 5 minutes, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, okay, all right. But I wanted to get up and leave. I saw 58 minutes. I was like, oh, it's a long video too. So so looking at it in the first 5 minutes, I thought it was a joke. But as it went on, the information that they were bringing was information I had never heard before. And then when he started going into the scriptures, showing how in the Bible, confirming in the Bible everything that he was speaking of, to me, it was eye opening, because I realized I didn't know anything as well as I thought I knew it, and it was eye opening, and it actually fueled everything that I wanted to know earlier. So it made me go back and look at everything that I had seen before. I had never done anything like that before. When we learned something in the Christian church, I would take notes, and I would probably most likely never go back and look at them. But after watching this video, something clicked. Something clicked right then. I was hooked. My eyes were on that video. I've watched that video 21 times in total. Actually, every time we bring the video to somebody, I watch it with them. It's an awesome video, and it kind of reignites that fire that I first got 4 years ago. And well, in a month it will be 4 years, and next month it will be 4 years. So it always reignites that fire that I had before. So it was a blessing. And my reaction to it, obviously in the beginning, was I thought it was a joke, but after that I see it as my salvation, where the beginning of my actual salvation was. I know when Christ comes, He's going to be coming expecting what He's giving me to come back fivefold, and I understand that. So my commitment to this truth is continuing to do what the Most High called me to do, and understanding that this is my profession, this work is my profession, whether it be teaching the young people, teaching the older people, evangelizing, whatever his duty is, he has me in the church. I could be cooking food for all for all we know. However, but whatever it may be, but understanding that there's an expectation, that there's a calling on my life, and understanding that the Most High has given me that calling and those talents for a reason. So understanding those things, it makes it easier for me to be committed, and understanding that everything that there is to come. I know that this is my profession. This is where the Most High wants me to be, and and there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than this truth. You know, when you receive any type of truth, it's impossible to go back to the lie. And it's the same situation as when you receive something as monumental as the truth, and you realize that everything around you, everything that you've lived in the past was a lie. It's impossible to go back to doing the same old thing that you were doing in the past. So looking at this situation, looking at where I am, and wondering what my commitment is, or the question is, what's my level of commitment to this truth, is understanding that the Most High told me to do this. This is a command. He put me in the position that he wants me to put me in. So understanding that it's the Most High's will to put me in a situation. The Most High is the head of my whole life. He's the head of everything that I do. So whether it be to the death or till Christ's coming, I'm going to do what he called me to do.